Hello, and thank you for stopping by the Sister Cousins Lifestyle channel. In today's video, I'm going to be refreshing this room and I'm going to be using some thrifted items. So I'm going to share with you the items that I thrifted for a refresh of this space and how I styled them. So if you'd like to see how it all turns out, keep watching. Now, this is one of my guest bedrooms and it has been neglected for far too long. I've done very little in the decorating space in this room, and I want to do something to it, but I have to do it budget friendly, and so thrifting is the best way to go. One of the things that I knew I wanted to do was to replace this artwork. This artwork is just here just because I needed something on the wall, and so I just placed this here. This is artwork. I think it's the Brooklyn Bridge, but anyway, I went to the thrift store and I was looking for some pieces and I ran across this piece here with this color on it. It was $9.99. Yep, the thrift store has gone up in price, but it caught my eye because one thing that I knew that I wanted is to bring some color into this room. I don't necessarily decorate with color typically, but I just wanted this to be a fun space, and like I've said on my channel a few times here, that's my hiding place for my cases of toilet paper. Don't judge me. We'll find a new home for it. But anyway, like I was saying, I'm trying to create more stories in my home, and I want to play around with some different styles of art and colors and textures and things like that. But I didn't want it in like my everyday space, but I thought it'd be fun to do that in my guest bedroom. So this piece here was actually my first piece that I located. This was a thrifted piece as well. This was $19.99. So that shows you how much I really love this piece. This piece reminded me of someone's grandmother. My grandmother was a quilter. This does not look like my grandmother, but just the semblance of the quilting. I saw it and I just had to have it. I love the colors. I just thought it was so nice. My grandmother was an avid quilter. She made many beautiful quilts in her lifetime, and I thought those two pieces of art were paired nicely together, and they were fun and they were colorful and they did everything that I needed for this space. So these two pieces were my anchor pieces. Now, I shared a few videos ago that my granddaughter had done this painting, and I'm gonna tell you, it pairs nicely with this piece of art, and you know, I just thought it would be fun to hang it. I told her that I would be hanging it in here, and so this is where it's going to go, right in this guest bedroom. And if you're not already seeing, I'm just putting pieces that I love in this room. So that's going to be the story here in this room, is every piece that I've selected has been purposefully curated for this space, and I'm loving the way it's coming together. Now, the curtains, the window treatments needed to be replaced, so I had some that I recently picked up from the Crate and Barrel outlet, and I just decided to go ahead and put them up in here. They are wrinkled, but they will start to fall, so I'm not going to worry about that. But then I had this little lamp here that was on this bedside table. This thing I have had for a very long time. It used to be on my desk a long time ago, and somehow it just ended up here. But it's time to replace it. I have this thrifted lamp. I actually shared this in a haul a long time ago, but this is going to be its home for now. This lampshade is one that I had already put on it. And used it for a short time, but then I was at the thrift store, ran into this one, which brings in some color, and so it caught my eye. So it is red in color. It looks pretty much brand new, but it was only $3.99. So I thought it would be fun to bring in a nice colorful lampshade to go with the color that I'm introducing into this room. It is so much fun to come out of my comfort zone with decorating and use some color for a change. I don't know how long I'll leave it like this, probably a good little while, because I don't look at this room every day, but I like what's happening here, and I also love the way that it's coming together on a budget. Now, I didn't want to go too modern here because, as you can see, this is more traditional furniture that I've had for a long time, and I'm not in a position to replace it, so it'll do for now. Now we're in the primary suite, and I had this space here where I had a table and some greenery here that I had throughout the winter, and I wanted to do do a little bit of a refresh here. Now, I used to have a chair there a while ago. It was a really big chair. It was really oversized. So I've always wanted to have another chair there, but I wanted something really small. So again, at the thrift store, I ran across this one. It was $6.99, and it was in good shape. And I knew in looking at this, I love the lattice back on it. It was just really different. It's metal. Did not like the fabric, and I wouldn't use that anyway. I would redo that. So I brought it home, cleaned it up, put it in my room just to kind of look at it in the space and make sure that, I thought it was a good addition. And then I started to contemplate, like, what colors do you want to go with for this chair? I decided to bring in some of my existing pillows just to kind of put them there, just to kind of see where I would want to go with the reupholstering of this chair. I am really loving antelope. I'm loving zebra print. So I just brought in a couple of pillows that I had just to kind of look at it and see what it is. Now, of course, when I go to pick out the fabric, I don't know what they're going to have, but I at least kind of want to have an idea of what I might want to go with. And I am all about animal print. I just love animal print. So that's the direction I was thinking that I was going to go. The concern that I had, though, is that if I changed the decor in my room and decided I wanted to use some other color, what I kind of have myself pinned in a box or whatever. But anyway, I took off to Hobby Lobby, and as luck would have it, they had 40% off of their fabric this week, so that was perfect. So I started to look at the fabrics that they had. This is one of the first pieces that I actually touched and felt that fabric just looked so nice and so pretty. It was almost kind of reminded me of a boucle, but it wasn't quite a boucle. This is another really pretty one. I just kind of walked around and looked at them and tried to decide just what it was that I wanted to do. Then I spotted this antelope material here, and I had to get a feel of that. It was way, way, way too thin for upholstery in my opinion, but that's some beautiful fabric, so I had to pass on that. I continued to look at them. They just have so many things to choose from. This animal print was calling my name. I really, really like that, but I don't know. I think that first piece that I saw really called my name, but I wanted to check with the clearance section too before I made a selection, because sometimes you can get things really, really cheap back there. This was a decent piece, but not the color that I thought I wanted to go with. So I've selected my fabric at this point and decided to stop in the paint section because I definitely want to paint the chair. And I was thinking at this point that I wanted to go with like a charcoal gray. I actually selected the anvil gray and didn't care for it. But here I am at home with the fabric that I selected. And I wanted to make sure again that I did like the way it looked before I got that stapler going and made it more permanent, So I looked at it, I did like it. So I went out to my little painting studio and I began to paint. Now, remember I said I picked up that anvil gray. Well, I was hoping that it would pick up more on the gray side since the chair was already dark in color, but it pulled way too much blue for me. So I knew as I was painting this that this was not going to work for me. But no fears, I did correct it. So here I am now. I'm cutting the fabric. I ended up getting a yard of fabric knowing that was way more than I would need, but I needed to have enough for the potential mistake because I am not a professional upholsterer. I have done a piece or two over the years, but I am nowhere near good at this, but it's really easy to do. So I figure, how bad could it turn out, right? So I'm beginning to place the fabric on here and just kind of making sure that it's smooth. That's the key to it. Is just make sure that it's smooth and, around, because you don't want any puckles or whatever in your fabric. So I'm getting it all together here, and then I have my stapler. It would have been better if I had an electric stapler, but I don't, so I had to use what I had, and that's just a little manual heavy duty stapler. So I'm just gathering my fabric here, and I'm just going to begin to put staples in it to secure the fabric in place. This is not a pretty process because, like I said, I do not know what I'm doing. I did decide to leave the other fabric on. I sanitized it really, really good, but I decided to make life easier for myself and leave it on and just put this on top of the fabric because the cushion in there was really, really nice and heavy duty. You know, I like the way that it felt when I sat in it or whatever. So yeah, that's what I decided to do. So once I got it all stapled here, I just ran my hand across to make sure that everything was as smooth as possible. It is by no way perfect, but it's close enough, you know. So I do like the way that it looked. The chair turned out nicely. I ended up putting some matte black on top of that anvil gray. I like the way that that turned out. So now all I have to do is go in here and put the 2 screws back under the chair, and I am good to go. Now this part proved to be quite complicated. I actually did need another person just to kind of help hold the cushion into place while I was trying to put the screw in. I ended up getting down on my hands and knees and then eventually got down on my back and under the chair like a mechanic. It was quite a production. And like I said, the chair did not turn out perfect, but it is cute and I love it in my space. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, please hit that thumbs up button. Also hit that subscribe button and be sure to hit the post notification bell so that you're notified each time I upload videos. I will be continuing in my process of redoing that bedroom upstairs and you don't want to miss it. So hope to see you on my next one. Bye bye.